Hey guys, I'm back again, and finally, Spencer told Aria and Emily about Toby, and I am so proud of her for doing that. Now, Hannah convinces her mom not to call the police or go call her lawyer or anything about what happened between her and Wilden, and Hannah's mom makes Hannah swear not to tell her friends what happened because Hannah's like, look, I'm not trying to let you get into any trouble or anything. And then, of course, Hannah's mom doesn't want her going to go blab to her friends, so that makes sense. And I forgot which girl said it already, but I think Aria mentioned something like, so has Toby hated us secretly all this time? And then Emily was kind of getting on my nerves. She was a little too optimistic. I mean, I can understand that they're friends and everything, but I mean, she was very nonchalant about it, and Spencer, it was really making Spencer mad. Like, I just told you Toby is A. He was standing in my kitchen, a black hoodie. Like, why are you behaving like this? And then later on, Emily calls Toby, leaves a voice message saying that she needs to talk to him and that it's urgent. Now, Ezra is looking after Malcolm for a few days because Maggie's looking for work. Because remember what I said in the last review, or if you saw the episode, you already know. Um, Ezra's mom owns Maggie's condo, and it has now been put up for sale. So Maggie is probably going to move to Rosewood, and Aria was like, "Oh, okay." Now Ezra wants Aria to stay there and get to know Malcolm, which she does, and they play and stuff, and that happened. Emily said a line in this episode already that really got under my skin. She said about Toby that something like he hasn't tried to harm her, and she's been alone with him before. Sweetie, Toby is A, and I'm sure he wouldn't want you to know that, and I'm pretty sure he wouldn't attack you in broad daylight, where you could clearly see his face. You guys get what I'm saying? Okay. Now, Arya agrees to watch Malcolm while Maggie and Ezra are out. She agrees to just babysit him, and they're like, "Oh, you really don't have to do that." And she's like, "But I want to." And Spencer, at the end of the last episode, you saw someone in the black hoodie putting together a wreath that said, I believe, something like, "Our or my deepest condolences for your loss," or something like that. And she opens up the envelope that came with it, and it says, "Someone close to you will pay for your loose lips, A." And I was like, yeah, I can see that happening. So after this first commercial break, Spencer confronts Mona about the wreath that was sent to her, that was delivered to her house. And Mona pretty much, I guess she's playing dumb. And she mentions, oh, make sure that, if they're orchids and everything, you don't put them in the sun and stuff. And the way she says it makes you feel like, yeah, she must have done something. And, oh, Arya's talking to her mom, and her mom mentions Maggie, and, Ezra wants her to look out for any teaching positions for her, and Arya's like, oh, I never heard of her. And then she just, like, up and leaves. Emily, she's still trying to find Toby. She runs into someone who works with him, and they're like, I haven't seen him in a few weeks. And Hannah's mom, she's extremely paranoid at this point. She's like, there was nothing in the news, there's nothing in the papers, and she thinks she sees Wilden across the street, but then she almost gets hit by a car. Pay attention, people. Look both ways. But yeah, and then when she looks back again, Wilden's gone. And right before that scene, Spencer, she's really looking at the banner that came with the wreath very, very, very intensely. She's really looking at it. Then she starts picking it up, she starts holding it, and I was wrong in the last part. It says deepest sympathy, not condolences. Anyway, she's looking at it, then she rips it off and like runs out the house. So you find out what Spencer saw on the banner. She says that the E and the M on the banner aren't shiny like the other letters, and she thinks that that is a sign that Emily is next, or at least the next one who's going to get hurt. And Emily, she's saying, that's not going to happen and all that. And then Spencer pretty much makes her promise her to stop looking for Toby. Spencer's like, Emily, you need to stop, okay? And let's see here. Arya and Hannah, they're discussing, what kind of signs did they miss with Toby? Did you do something? Did you say something that may have seemed off or anything along those lines? Now, Emily, she hasn't let it go. She's talking to her mom about Toby's whereabouts, and her mom is like, I haven't trusted Toby since that whole fire situation. And then Emily, she gets on her mom's computer, and Emily is a good little hacker. I mean, I don't think she had to necessarily hack to get into the system, but she knows her way around some computers. So she's looking through there trying to find out information on Toby. Her mom comes back. And then when her mom leaves again, she's about to go do the search all over again when Toby texts her and says, "Stop looking, I'll meet you." And she's like, "Oh, well, okay." And then Arya, she's babysitting Malcolm. And then Malcolm, as soon as I saw that boy jumping on the bed, I was like, he's going to fall and hurt himself. And he did. When Arya got to him and turned him over, his chin was bleeding. So Malcolm did get hurt. Is Toby really dead? Oh my god. Okay. I did not see that one coming. And I just did a review right before this one about the last episode. Okay. Dang. Wow. Okay. So okay, back on track. Mona. Dang, I can't even think straight. Okay, so Mona, she has a lot of money with her, and she gets a call saying, she's on her way, and Spencer follows her into the woods. When Spencer gets there, sorry, that's my phone. When Spencer gets there, she follows her through the woods, and Toby's just laying there, and Spencer goes running after Mona, and she just stops in the woods, and she pretty much falls to the ground, and she's just heartbroken. I'm heartbroken. Dang. Okay, so back to the other characters. Malcolm's in the hospital, and Ezra, at first he says, Arya, it's okay. These things happen. He's a boy and stuff. And then Ezra got a little bipolar. He went from, oh, it's okay to, so what exactly were you doing? You just turned your back? You weren't watching him? And I was like, Ezra, you just said it was okay. But he just wants to get his facts straight to explain to Maggie what happened. And Arya mentions, she doesn't know the first thing about being a parent. And Ezra says, neither do I. Hannah, she returns home. The police car that Wilden was driving that has all the video footage of everything that happened, all the evidence, she pretty much now has. And she watches the entire thing in shock, basically, that her mom did that. Emily, she arrives to meet Toby. Now, here's the thing that I'm confused about. Here's my theory. Either someone has Toby's cell phone and is contacting Emily, or the whole death with Toby has been staged so that the girls don't try to target Toby anymore. And what Spencer mentioned about the E and the M on the banner, and Emily's gone out to meet Toby, maybe Spencer was right about that, and someone is trying to trick Emily and hurt her. I don't know if I'm right about that. I'll keep this in the video even if I'm wrong and I find that out at the end of this episode. But that is a pretty good theory. Like, I figure someone could be like a body double or something for Toby. Like it's really not him. Someone, has just been placed there who has the same tattoo and everything. Because you notice right when Spencer was about to lift up the helmet, Mona said something and then Spencer just took off. She didn't 100% check to see if that was Toby. I don't know. Okay, so apparently Toby really is gone. I'm just going to leave that in my video, my theory, because it was actually a pretty good, well thought out theory, you know? Um, it would have made sense, but I just find it hard to believe that Toby's gone. Jeez. Anyway, Arya and her mom, they have a heart-to-heart about Ezra and Malcolm, and, her mom's like, I really wish I could help you with this, I don't really know what to say. And then Emily, while she's sitting there, it's been 2 hours since Toby was supposed to meet up with her. She sees the girl in the red coat walk by. She goes into, I guess you call it a warehouse or whatever. Now, the guy that she ran into outside Toby's house, how the heck does he know Emily's name? She never told him. He knows something. He's going to come back eventually, I bet you. And then later on, Emily goes back outside. And someone has busted her window to her car and has left kind of, I guess you call it like a bit of a folder or something, or like a pretty red envelope. She opens it up, and there's like a little mini casket. She opens that. There's a little piece of paper. She undoes it, excuse me. And it says, Toby is no more. A. And I was like, dang, it's true. Wow. And it's crazy, to think he's gone. I need to stop saying that. But now Arya and Hannah, Hannah, she did the final push. Basically pushed the police car into the lake? River? I'll say it was a lake. Now Spencer. I'm just going to skip a whole bunch of stuff real quick. Okay, so the authorities found Spencer. Y'all, who else thought that Spencer was dead in that vehicle? I swear, I saw her sitting up looking like this. I thought she had left this earth. I really did. And now she's in Radley. And all that. I'm just like, oh my goodness. I mean, when you hit your breaking point, honey, you hit your breaking point. Now, when we came back from commercial break, Arya and Hannah are standing there, and they're like, this car is not sinking. What the heck? Then it finally does sink. Hannah goes home. Hannah does so much crap. I'm watching my mouth. She does so much crap without thinking. It makes no sense whatsoever. I swear. I know that she's doing it for a good reason, but Hannah needs to learn to think. And then she talks to her mom, and her mom is saying, she drove by where the car was left. It's no longer there, so maybe she didn't hit him that hard. Maybe he realized, hey, I'm in the wrong. Maybe I'm fine. And Hannah's just sitting there like, yeah, all right. Arya, she talks to Ezra and stuff, and they say I love you, and yeah. And at the very end of the episode, you see a fisherman who's, doing his thing. He's fishing, and he pulls out a hat, and the hat says Rosewood Police. Big shocker there. Yeah. And then before that, Emily, Arya, and Hannah are talking about, is Toby really dead? So, this episode, I must say, really outdid the last one. If you saw my review about the last one, I was not feeling that episode at all. Until, Hannah's mom hit Wilden. But this episode, just, wow. Very, very impressed with it. I just feel bad for Spencer. Remember when I mentioned a few reviews back that I'm proud of Spencer for, finally having this, I'm not going to take any more of this crap attitude? Which was great, but she broke down so much. I'm sorry. I just want all these girls to just gang up and hurt Mona. I know that sounds terrible, but it's the truth. And it's crazy, man. So crazy. Now, I have noticed, I'm just like, where are all these other characters? Someone mentioned, in my last review, where's Lucas? We haven't seen Jenna. We haven't seen Noel. Okay, we have seen Melissa. But, I'm just like, where are all these characters at? Did they say they weren't going to be in this season? I must have missed that if that was said, but yeah, so much stuff happened. I really hope Toby isn't dead. I really hope. Something in the back of my mind is saying it's not true. Say it isn't so. But if it's so, it's so, and I just can't do anything about it. I mean, everybody on Twitter, everyone's like, he's gone, he's dead, I can't believe this. And everyone's like, oh my gosh, Spencer, and everything. But the next episode, it looks really good. And I will see you guys next week. Hope you all enjoyed this review. Take care.